Hey guys, Sonic Eggman here reviewing the Capcom arcade classic, Ghosts and Goblins. Introducing my esteemed friends, the amazing Capcom Trial by Fire trip to hell through a graveyard, Ghosts and Goblins. You know, I can't think of a game so unrelenting, so unfair at times, and so downright frustrating you want to put your fist straight through the arcade cabinet. And yet I've happily kept coming back for more year after year saying, yes please sir, making me very frustrated, I deserve it. First released in 1985, Ghosts and Goblins is the perfect example of a punishing game design being made up for with charming graphics, an excellent soundtrack, and great controls. You play Arthur, a knight who must save his milady, Princess Prin Prin or Guinevere, depending on where you hang your armour at night, from Satan himself. First, let's address the naked elephant in the room. Arthur and Prin Prin were definitely getting it on. First scene of the game, if that doesn't look like a couple doing an awkward post-coital redress, my name is Scrooge Mc.Duck. Luckily Lucifer saves the day, stopping any weird small talk that might have had to have taken place while one of our medieval chums finds a towel. Enough of that, and on to why I like this game so much. Graphically, the game has the standard 80s Capcom quality aesthetic, which meant it features well-designed varied enemies, nice level layout, super charming backgrounds, and most importantly, a kick-ass protagonist. The soundtrack is super catchy, and I've been guilty of walking around the house humming the first level's music on repeat like a madman for hours on end. The gameplay noises are what arcades sound like. And I know that sounds stupid, but seriously, if you ever had the good fortune of walking through an arcade in the late 80s, early 90s, it sounded like this game, Outrun, and Wonder Boy. If you don't know what these games sound like, I pity you young whippersnappers with your hula hoops and TikToks and the sort. Let's talk about why this game is so hard. First, the enemies. They're everywhere, they don't stop coming, and they want you dead. There are your run-of-the-mill, single-hit bad guys who respawn at nauseam, but there's also mini-boss type operators who are usually placed just after a checkpoint, meaning if you die, you have to beat them again. The Red Devil is maybe the worst, and is definitely responsible for making many a 12-year-old bankrupt back in 1986. Once you beat an actual boss, they appear later in the game again as just a regular enemy. In fact, at one point you have to climb a tower towards the end and fight all of them in one hit. Second is the weapon system. There are 5 weapons with 2 of them being any good. The torch is trash, the axe is pretty trash, and the lance you start with is fine until you have to fight the first boss, and then it's trash. The only good weapon is a dagger. The worst thing is, once you receive the dagger, weapon drops seem to appear on every second enemy, meaning that you accidentally picking up a terrible weapon is almost a certainty. The second weapon worth any sort of value is the shield, but that only appears towards the end of the game, and ironically you can't finish the game without it. If you complete level 6 without the shield, you're transported back to the start of level 5. Speaking of the gameplay trying to steal your good weaponry, on the 6th level more times than not a crappy weapon would appear on the ladder, stopping you from climbing the ladder and progressing up the tower. I had to let the timer run out on this one. It's a really good example of how this game is designed to take people's money. Once you complete the game, you have to do it all again on hard mode. Like I said, this game is a punish, and admittedly it's one I've never completed. Luckily for me, the game was released on the Capcom arcade cabinet on the Xbox 360 back in 2013, and that version had a practice mode, where you were given way more lives and your projectiles were way more powerful. It's not the same as beating the game properly, I understand that, but at least I got to play pretend and act like a big boy. If you for some reason never played Ghosts and Goblins, I feel sorry for you, but by any means possible, you should give it a shot. I mean, even just to try out the difficulty level. It's hard, it's fun, it's ghosts, and there's also some goblins. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're in the mood for some more retro action, check out my other videos. Please remember to hit like and subscribe at the bottom, and go play some old games. Sonic Eggman out.